for your Caesar. Cardiff City, ride with me for your Caesar. For your Caesar. Cardiff City, get litty for your Caesar. She want a diff boy. Swagger 1 point, yeah, diff boy. She want a diff boy. Swagger 1 point, yeah, diff boy. For your Caesar. Grab a little something for your Caesar. We the geezers. Swagger stone cold like freezers. She want a diff boy. She want Starvz, not Fitzroy. She want a diff boy. She want Starvz, not Fitzroy. She want a big man. Says she want a man from...
Well, yes guys, I'm Si, welcome back to the channel. What a day down the Cardiff City Stadium yesterday. The Bluebirds put in arguably their most complete performance under Brian Barry Murphy so far, sweeping aside, in my opinion, is probably one of the best footballing team they've played this season, winning 4-0 in front of a buzzing home crowd. It was a day of football, yes, but also a day of emotion. The tribute to Sol Bamba, a true City legend, was spine-tingling. The players, the staff, the fans all came together to celebrate a legend and a man who gave so much to this football club and paved the way for many of these young players now. And in true Cardiff fashion, the team went out and honoured him in the best way possible, with intensity, togetherness, and 4 cracking goals. Today we're going to break it all down with 5 things that we learned from the game. And this isn't just about the scoreline, it's about the patterns, the rotations, the individuals, the tactical details. And we're going to tell you exactly where we are going into the international break under Brian Barry Murphy. So with no further ado, let's get into it straight away. Number 1, Kian Ashford. A mixed day for the young man, but he's still growing, he's still young, right? And let's start with him. By his standards, particularly recently, I didn't think he was at his best. It wasn't his best performance. But he worked so hard. His passing was off touch at times. He didn't quite have that cutting edge. But then he contributes to a couple of the goals. He's involved in the build-up massively. And this is what makes him such an exciting prospect. Even when it's a mixed game for him, he still contributes to moments, to goals, to defensive moments. Ashford was heavily involved in the move leading to the first goal. His ability to hold the width throughout the game, his stretch Plymouth's backline, to create space for the overlapping and underwrapping runs, easy for me to say, it's vital. Defensively, he does not shirk that responsibility. He tracks back all game. He helps out Pacquiao. He covers him at times. He's pressing, doubling up when needed. SofaScore had him at 3 recoveries, 2 tackles, which for a winger in a high pressing side is real good. Work ethic and discipline. Still only young, as I say, still developing. But I love that even when he's not sparkling like he has been recently, he's still producing key contributions, and that is what separates a prospect who fades away and someone who goes in and becomes a first team regular for many years to come. And it's no surprise that there's interest in him, but hopefully we will see him in a Cardiff City shirt forever and ever and ever. I'm a big fan of Kian Ashford, and I think if you can have not even an off day, but like a mixed day and still contribute the way he did yesterday, that's a real footballer, you know. Number 2, the Cowell brothers, a midfield engine that Cardiff can build around. Look, I think this season we're going to hear a lot about these two. Ruben and Joel, they are simply a delight to watch. And when you break down why, it's not really a surprise. Ball winning, Joel led the team with 4 interceptions. Chipped in with multiple recoveries. His timing of stepping into duels is improving every week. He's got a bit of bite to him. He's got a bit of like nastiness to him, which I like. He's also really good at ball carrying and taking the pressure off the team. But in that ball carrying side of things, Ruben completed 4 progressive carries, constantly putting Plymouth on the back foot, constantly turning Plymouth's midfield and driving Cardiff City forward. They're pressing together. They pressed Plymouth into mistakes. Not just them, of course, but they're a large part of it because of the shape. Argyle only managed a 78% pass accuracy, which doesn't sound that low, but when you look at their previous games, it's one of the lowest of the season so far for them. And that's down to how Cardiff just suffocated them and suffocated their midfield. Productivity, Ruben gets himself on the score sheet. Joel's heavily involved in multiple goals. Ruben's heavily involved in multiple goals. They are constantly a threat, constantly a thorn in the sides of the opposition. And being honest, Ruben probably should have had a hat-trick again. Like, he had the one where he shoots, the keeper saves it, and then he should have probably squared the rebound. But, I mean, he'll be disappointed he didn't score there. Then he has the one in the middle, which he goes straight down the keeper's throat, plus his goal. But he was just a threat all the way through. I also thought in the build-up to Ryan Wintle's goal, we should have had a penalty. I haven't seen it back. But in the moment, I really felt like it was a heavy challenge on Ruben in the box. And then it breaks out, hits Capacchio's hands. And I think the ref didn't give that handball because he wasn't sure if he should have given a penalty. But I can't even start on refereeing standards in League One, I got to say. Ruben Cowell, Joel Cowell, they linked so well with Ryan Wintle. We'll get to him in a second. But it's just the midfield is super exciting. And what's exciting is tactically the interchanging. Ruben drifts out to the left. Joel drops deeper and almost becomes a pivot at times. But when they need to, it's the one-touch, two-touch combinations in tight spaces. Lots of clever rotations. And then it's the ability to suddenly pick up the pace and break the lines with a burst, whether that's off the ball, making a run, or carrying the ball. This midfield duo, and I'd say trio with Wintle, is becoming a nightmare for opponents because they've got legs, they've got brains, and they've got technical quality. You can see why BBM has got so much trust in these lads. And also, I'll say this about these two, but actually it's about the whole team. Cardiff City players do not mind having the ball under pressure. They do not mind having the ball with a defender right on them. They have confidence in their teammates to give them a good pass, and they have confidence in their own ability to deal with it. That is so refreshing because you've got to be brave to do that. You've got to be brave to call the ball when you're under pressure. Number 3, the back 5. Growing in confidence, growing in cohesion. Let's talk about the defence. Cardiff's back 5 is looking more and more assured with every game. We know we've only conceded 1 in the league, which is a penalty. We know we've only conceded 1 all season from open play, which was a mistake. We know the risk that BBM set up with a single pivot and aggressive press. It means that the back 4 can be exposed at times if possession's lost and the turnover's quick. But yesterday they're so calm, composed, and they know where each other's going to be, what they're going to do, and they win the ball. Rhodri Giggs, he did give the ball away a couple of times. But here's the difference. He goes and gets it back immediately. The recovery pace on him, the mentality is priceless. Dylan Lawler and Will Fish, in my opinion, right, and some people might disagree with this, I think they're forming something really special. Lawler reads danger just brilliantly. He had 5 clearances yesterday, 2 blocks, while Will Fish just dominates aerially. 7 out of 9 duels won according to FootMob. His diagonal balls to the wingers are just unreal for a big old centre-back, because he is quite old school in a lot of his traits. But together they balance each other out so well. Joe Bagan is flying right now. Purple Patch, and it's no fluke. He understands his role under BBM perfectly. He knows when to join the attacks, when to overload there, when to tuck in when he's needed. His combination play with Willock is coming along nice. And Joe Bagan, honestly, he's having the season of his life at the moment. I just hope he could stay fit, because as we stand, we still only have 1 left back. And then you've got old Trot in goal, the old man, really, all of them. And he has just given us stability, isn't he? Communication, distribution is outstanding. Yeah, 9 out of 13 long balls hit their mark yesterday. That's insane. Constantly turning Plymouth around with those balls. And then when he is tested, he produced 2 real solid stops. Just an all-round good feeling with that back 5. But look, what it does mean is Gabe Oshu, new signing, expecting to play. Skipper Callum Chambers, expecting to play. Experienced Perry NG, back to fitness, expecting to play. But they're going to have a real fight to get into this 11. Because at the moment, that back four, in my opinion, shouldn't be changed. But it's a brilliant problem for BBM to have. And Cardiff are doing a very good job going into the international break. I don't think you could be any more happy other than if you brought in another 2 signings. But, you know, what it is what it is. So, it's interesting, right? Because all of those players are going to expect to play. Another interesting thing is when Perry NG came on, I thought Ronan would go off. But when I saw it was Joel Cowell, Joel was on a booking, understanding, I assumed that Perry was going to go into the holding midfield role, which I thought, that's a bit weird. But I thought, you know, we'll see the game out, whatever. And then I thought maybe he'll bring Chambers on and put him there. No, he put Ronan Kipakio into the midfield in Joel Cowell's position. Played a little bit deeper, but same difference. And I thought, wow. And Ronan did quite well there, like only for a short spell, admittedly, but did well. Number 4, man of the match for me, Ryan Wintle. What a performance. What a performance. Not only did he score an absolute screamer to open up the proceedings in the 41st minute, but he absolutely dictated the tempo of this game. And his numbers tell a big, big story. 90% pass accuracy, 7 progressive passes, 6 ball recoveries, and 3 tackles won. But it wasn't just numbers. It was when he did things. His decision making was top level yesterday. Knowing when to press, knowing when to drop into the pivot, knowing when to hold the ball to take the sting out of play, knowing when to speed it up. That is leadership in midfield in a young side. And look, fans have criticised him in the past for being too safe, me included. I wanted to sell him in the summer, and I look stupid. I don't mind that. I said at the time I want these players who I'm saying probably would get let go. Prove me wrong. And Jesus Christ, like, what a player he is at the moment. He's got to maintain it through the season, of course, but just his abilities are really shining through. Something I've never seen from him in a Cardiff shirt. And he's been criticised for being too safe, too sideways, but, you know, backwards, keep hold of the ball. But under BBM, he looks a reborn player. Confident, progressive, decisive. He looks like he's having a whale of a time as well. And then you go back to the Darko Gyabi rumours at the start of the summer. And it does look at this, I said it at the time, like the more it went on, it didn't seem like it was going to happen. But you can kind of see why. Obviously Leeds wanted like 3 million or whatever it was. And if it doesn't end up happening, which it doesn't look like it will, you can see why. Like, why would you bring in a big money signing when Ryan Wintle's in that form? Now, do you need a backup? Yeah, well, I thought Mafiko looked like he had so much potential. And if someone I was speaking to compared him to a young Kante, and I was like, wow, that is some comparison. But I could see a lot of those traits in him, so don't hate it. Don't hate it. Let's put any pressure on the lad. But if Mafiko's the backup for the 6, don't hate that either. And judging by what Barry Murphy is doing with these players individually, in partnerships, but also collectively, if that's what he thinks, I'm all on board to trust him. But you can see why those rumours have gone away. Ryan Wintle in this form, why would you bring someone else in? This is as good as I've ever seen Ryan Wintle in a Cardiff City shirt. And then finally, number 5, the BBM way. Heart, coaching, belief. And this is the big one for me, like the BBM way, whatever you want to call it, the BBM era. Yesterday just summed it up perfectly for me. From the Sol Bamba tribute during the game, his Sol Bamba tribute after the game, Ruben's Sol Bamba tribute after the game, the way he celebrates with the fans, the way he lives like every ball with his players. Barry Murphy is building something special here, make no mistake. The transformation in certain individuals is pretty staggering. Just as an example, like you look at Chris Willock, 2 goals in 2 games, but it's not, before that, for me, it was, you could see it, pressing, smiles on faces. He looks like a different player compared to last season. He deserved his goal yesterday for his work rate alone. And it's not just Willock. The whole squad looks happier. They look fitter. They look together. And then you watch the touchline and BBM is coaching constantly. Even the lads on the bench, he's talking to them. Even the players who look a bit frustrated during the game because the ball hasn't come. He's building an environment where everybody is together. Cardiff at the moment, so far this season, and there's a long, long way to go. Cardiff have looked levels above who they've played. I thought Plymouth were the best football inside we've played, and we absolutely wiped the floor with them. Should have been 6, at least. It's going to be tougher games to come. But the identity is clear. The high pressing, the intensity, the rotation, the togetherness. And if BBM can maintain this standard all season, the sky is absolutely the limit. There is no coincidence that opposition fans, opposition managers and beyond are speaking so highly of Cardiff City. Because of it does what it says on the tin. We have been that good. The BBM way, it just hits different, and I am here for it. So there you go. That's 5 things we learned from Cardiff's 4-0 demolition of Plymouth. Kian Ashford, mixed, but still delivers the key moments. The Cowell brothers, midfield dynamism. The back 5, growing in authority. Ryan Wintle, man of the match. The BBM way, together. Belief, identity. What a day it was. On and off the pitch. Soul Bamba tribute made it all that more emotional. And tonight, on the breakdown, I am going to be joined by none other than Mr. Paul Abandonato. We're going to be talking Brian Barry Murphy, the first part of the season. We're going to be talking the latest on transfer news. We're going to be talking, of course, Soul Bamba memories. Paul knew Soul real well, so it'll be fascinating. And it's always a bit emotional hearing those stories and those memories. It's going to be a great show. It always is on a Sunday. But you don't want to miss it, so make sure you join us 8:15 tonight on Cardiff City World exclusively. Thank you so much for watching. Keep the faith. The good times are coming. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know who impressed you. Let me know, how does Osho fit into this? How do any new players fit into this? Because I'm Isaac Davis, by the way. I think he's got 2 goals and 3 assists or something stupid like that in the last few games. Even the subs are contributing. So hit that like button, subscribe. If you want to go that extra mile, please do become a member. And just lastly, I suppose, I was told there was someone up in the with Ken Chu in the box last night. They've said the same thing this morning. I haven't been able to confirm it elsewhere, but I have been told that expect a couple of things to happen today and tomorrow. We shall see. It is what it is. I'm just passing it on at the end of the day. I'm not saying anything's nailed on or anything's definite, but number 2 is still coming. That's what I will say. Have a good Sunday, my friends, and I'll see you tonight. In a bit.
For your Caesar, Cardiff City ride with me for your Caesar. For your Caesar, Cardiff City get litty for your Caesar. She want a diff, boy.